welcome to the Galaxy Man Show, live on IG. So for the very first guest of this week is this incredible artist known by the name of Chloey Rose. So I'm about to add Chloey into the live now on the Galaxy Man Show for tonight. So yeah, let's add Chloey in and have a chat with Chloey.
Hello.
Hello, Chloey. How's it going?
I'm great, thank you. It's so good to see you. I've been excited about this. It's been a long time coming. It has been a long time.
I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time, Chloey, for joining my show. It means the incredible world that you have joined my show as a guest tonight. To people that don't know who you are, Chloey, if you can give like a bit of backstory about yourself, and then we'll dive right into the questions.
Yeah, sure, no problem. So I'm a singer-songwriter from Lincolnshire in England. Since being born, really, I've always just felt like I loved being on stage. I always knew that music was something I wanted to do. And that's why I'm here today, to do with my music and stuff. And yeah, it's great to be on your show as well.
Well, for my very first question, we'll dive into the questions now. So for my very first question, you've created incredible original songs. And for the first original song I'm going to name for the first original song I'm going to name is Hot and Cold. Perfect song title. What was it like creating Hot and Cold, and what is the meaning behind Hot and Cold?
Oh, that's a really good question regarding the meaning. Hot and Cold, I wrote it a few years back now, and it was kind of at a time in my life where I'd gone through a bit of a heartbreak. You know, we all go through them at some point, and I just find like music's always been my outlet to sort of express myself in a way that I couldn't do without it, if you know what I mean, lyrically. Yeah, it's kind of about that past heartbreak, really. And the process of writing it was incredible. And then going into the studio, I did it with Aaron, who's from Sheffield, and he produced the music, and there was like professional musicians that came in and did it, and that moment, there was just such a buzz at the time in the studio. And yeah, I really enjoy doing that. But I always try and write music about things that, I don't know, people can relate to. And I guess like we've all been there at some point in our life, you know, whether it's a loss or a relationship. And so that's kind of what that was about, really.
So on to my very next question. So you've also created a song called Shot You Down, which is another great title of a song. What was it like creating this one, and what's the meaning behind Shot You Down?
Oh gosh. Oh, shall I keep it a mystery? That's the thing. Well, you know James Bond? Do you like the Bond film?
Yes, I do.
Awesome.
Huge Bond fan. Yeah.
Yes, I love it. Well, I've always had the dream, right? And I know it sounds crazy, but I've always thought I'd love to have been like a Bond girl, hilarious,
Okay.
or like written a song for a Bond theme. And my first ever song that I put out was called Golden Dreams, and Shot You Down has that kind of same vibe about it. And the idea was, let's try and do another song with the theme of Bond in it that's a little bit dark pop. And also, I think when I was younger, I'm still soft now, but I was really, really soft back then. And I think I got to a point where I thought, you know, people are I know not everybody's gonna get on and things like that. I like to get on with everybody, right? And you are gonna have those bumps in the road where people close the doors on you and it's kind of a no. And my way of saying that song of Shot You Down is kind of like, no matter how sometimes you might feel pulled down or you might struggle and you might have challenges, you've got to get out there, keep going, whatever it is you want to do, and never give up. And that was kind of where the lyrical content came from, that feeling of, I can do it, come on, keep going, sort of thing. But yeah, that's where it comes from. A bit of a dark story behind it, but we won't go too much into it. Oh dear. Hey, how you been?
So on to my very next question for you, Chloey. So you've also created a song called Golden Sun,
Yeah.
which is, how do you come up with these amazing titles, by the way? Like the Golden Sun, like perfect song title. Like, what is the meaning behind this song for you?
Oh, thanks so much. I kind of wanted a song that would brighten people's day, I guess. And the title, I don't know what it is, sweet. I've got an obsession with putting golden in a title. My first song was Golden Dreams. This one's Golden Sun. And it's kind of the idea of to step right out of my life into the golden sun. What was old once before, left behind on the floor. Here and now, we are one. nothing's right, nothing's wrong. And I'm still saying it, waiting so long, searching for a sign, focused, ready to step right out of my life into the golden sun. So the idea is, it's like not being afraid of being who you are anymore. I might be a little bit quirky and a little bit crazy and weird, but that's okay. You know, everybody be yourself. Don't be afraid not to be. And it's kind of that really. And I wanted to do a song to help people with their identities and just think, you know what, this is who I am. Be true to yourself, shine bright. And that's what it is. It's about self-love a little bit, because it sounds cringe, but I think sometimes we need that. And that was something that previously I used to quite struggle with. Like, that was an insecurity of mine. And that's like, I delved into my singing, and I hope that I can give that back and brighten someone's day and say, keep going, you know, be happy with who you are. So that's what that song's about as well.
Well, for the very next one that I'm going to mention is hopes and dreams. Like, as I say to people on Instagram, like follow your dreams, follow your passions. I actually love this song title, how it says hope and dreams. Like, how does this song like relate to you as an artist? And like, especially when you created this song, what did this song mean to you when you thought of creating this song in the first place?
Yeah, well, this song particularly, and Golden Sun, I wrote this with my friend Harry, and he's like a really talented songwriter and singer as well. And I think at the time we were both going through a time in our lives feeling a little bit like, you know, the things that we want to pursue, like that make us who we are, like the music side, it was just really hard. It just felt like a constant battle and struggle, and, you know, will we ever get there, and just to keep going. And the idea of hopes and dreams is that in the video, there's two people, and it's like the two people are battling out, the angel and devil side saying, you can't do it, you're not good enough, you're not going to make it. The other side saying, well, if this is what you want to do, even if you're worried that you're not going to make it, it doesn't matter. Like, if you love it and you enjoy it, keep going. So I don't know why it is, but there's always, in my songs, I seem to try and write about things that motivate people, and I want to encourage people to not give up on whatever it is they want to do, whether you want to be a scientist, or you know, a singer, or work in a salon, or whatever that is. Just because it might seem out of reach, you might hit a branch, you know, you might hit the tallest tree or whatever. Sounds a bit cringe, but you know, why not just have a go? And that's kind of what hopes and dreams is about. It's feeling hopeless, but then at the same time riding through it and thinking, no, I can do it. If this is what I love doing, then, you know, keep going. And that's kind of what I try and do in a lot of my songs. Just I just want to make other people realize that they've got a quality in themselves, and they can go out and do whatever it is that they love to do. Maybe that's why I teach drama as well. Want to, you know, try and help others and say, go for whatever you want to do. Oh, crikey. I must sound quirky and crazy, but
No,
I do ramble.
You're all good. You're all good,
Oh,
Chloe.
thank you.
You have to be yourself anyway. Like, you have to be
That's
yourself,
it.
true person, and
Yeah.
be the quirkiest person as you possibly can. Like,
Ah.
get yourself out there. So yeah. On to my very next question.
Yeah.
So, what got you into singing, like, in the first place? Like, especially as an artist, like, what made you decide, hey, I want to become a singer? Like, what made you become a singer in the first place?
Sounds hilarious. Another story. When I was like really, really young, about 6, 7 years old, I was obsessed with the Spice Girls, like literally obsessed. And I loved Baby Spice. She was my favorite. And I always thought from that moment, I used to sing all the songs, and I just knew then, I just felt so connected to music, like where I just felt so emotional to it. I can't even explain it. It made me feel some sort of purpose or meaning. And then from that moment, I was like, oh, I might get up and karaoke when I was a little bit older. When I was about 9 years old, I did the song My Heart Will Go On and karaoke. And the whole place in Spain, this karaoke bar, it just went absolutely silent. Because at that time, I had like a big voice for a little girl, really. Didn't really realise it. And loads of people were coming up going, you couldn't hear a pin drop, you've got something and you should pursue that. And then from then on, it's kind of been something I've always wanted to do. And I think I was inspired by people like Kate Bush, really, even from a young age, because I grew up listening to her and Sting, The Police, and I don't know, even like Adele and people like that, I feel like in a lot of their songwriting and what makes them so truthful and so talented, and relatable is that they talk about stuff that they've gone through and their challenges, and I sometimes think that is important as well. And I kind of try to have that same thing in my own songs. Like it's usually about, it's like not an autobiography, but it's not far off. You know, there's some things that I talk about hidden in plain sight that people might not realize, but you know, there is a bit of a backstory to myself there. Maybe in a way that I can't explain myself in real life, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But the way I can do it is musically, and I think if that's how you can express yourself, then go for it, you know. Joining time.
So on to my very next question for you, Chloe. So what does like performing music mean to you? Like, especially when you're performing music in front of crowds, the connection wise, like with people joining in the comments now, like what does connection mean to you?
Oh, I feel like it's a massive part of it though, feeling if you know the audience is buzzed and they're giving you energy and you're giving them energy, it's like the best feeling ever. I did a gig recently at this Chilean gym festival a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
and the atmosphere was amazing, and you could just see the sun was obviously out, so that always helps. And just them singing the song back to me, it was just like, I don't know, there's no other feeling for it. There's just this rush of buzz that you can't feel. Well, I certainly can't feel at anything else other than like music, and I don't know. It's a bit like magical. Can't describe it, and yeah, I just feel like that connection with them. If they're vibing off you and you're vibing off them, there's nothing really like it. You know, it's so cool. I love it.
So on to my very next question. So if you could work with any top three music artists in the music industry, who would they be and why?
Oh gosh. You know what? I absolutely love Ben Howard. Have you heard of Ben Howard? Like
I
Only
have,
Love.
yeah.
Yeah, I am obsessed. I would love to one day do a duet with him. His voice is just so distinctive. He's got his own sound. I know all his songs. I just listen to them on repeat all the time. I'd say him. Um, Kate Bush, always been a fan since I was young, and because she's got like that theatrical side to her, a little bit like Florence and the Machine, really, where I don't know, and sometimes when you see the music videos and stuff, she becomes a character as well in her stories, and it's very much storytelling. And because I've kind of tried to combine sometimes a bit of my drama side and my music side, I think I can relate to her in that way. So that would be super cool. And then, oh, who else? There's so many. I can't even pick. Who else would I choose? Oh gosh. Um, Eva Cassidy. I know she's not here. Oh, Amy Winehouse as well.
Yes.
Incredible. She is just the epitome of incredible. You know, a music that she's wrote about her challenges, and it became so relatable to people as well. I love her. And I went to see the documentary sort of film about, well, it's kind of a documentary film, it's an autobiography film, and that was, did you go and see that? It's
I
so
did.
good.
It was
Yeah.
incredible. Yeah.
It was, and the actress who played her, the first
Really,
10 minutes
really well
after
done.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, I started to believe this is Amy. That she's so, her voice even sounded like her, the way she spoke, the way she sung. So yeah, she'd be a definite one. I
Yes.
would. Oh God, that would have been a dream. But
I have
bless
to
her
ask,
heart.
by the way, because you mentioned you're like you do acting on the side too.
Yeah.
Like, what do you prefer more, like acting or singing more?
Oh, it's got to be singing without a
Okay.
shadow.
Yeah.
But I kind of get to do a little bit of both because the storytelling side in some of the videos lately, I've tried to add a little bit of a character into it, a little bit. So, like in the Shot You Down one, it was like, oh, the bloke's not turned off, he's left her, and he's gone off, and she's like walking down the street, she's really attitudey, and she's not happy. So I tried to sort of embed a little bit of a character story into it. But yeah, I'm going to try and do that a bit more, I think, because I think that's kind of cool to try something a bit different. So.
Yes. So on to my very next question for you. So if you could go on tour to any country in the world, like where would you want to go to and
Oh,
why?
I'd love to go to America, Nashville, because it's just the music scene, isn't it? Really, there, and I'd love to like perform into all the festivals and stuff like that. And I don't know, I always feel like Americans really embrace like like English people in general. When I've gone, they're super friendly and stuff. And yeah, no, I'd love to go to America. That would be ace.
So on to my very next question for you. So if you could give your younger self advice, like what advice would you give to your younger self looking back over your time in the music industry career? And if you could go to any decade in time, where would it be and why?
Oh my goodness. Oh, these questions are so good, but so hard to answer. Um, oh God, I'm gonna. So you said anywhere and when and why. I'd probably say I'd go back about 10 years ago. Well, 9 years ago, 8 years ago. Oh, crikey. Whenever it was. And I did like the songwriting festival, and it was just incredible because there were so many different songwriters there from different countries all meet into this one place in Dumfries. It was like this big mansion house, and everybody was in different rooms, whether it was playing guitar, piano, and writing music. And I just really enjoyed that. And there I met like a really established songwriter. He'd worked with quite a lot of people, but I think what was a shame back then was I was very sort of too soft, I think, and I can be a little bit now, but not as strong-willed. So I feel like I would have took things, I would have just gone for it a bit more and been a bit more confident. But I think confidence comes with time. You know, you start to become yourself over the next few years and stuff. It doesn't come straight away. So that's one thing I'd tell myself, to never hold back, keep going, believe in yourself. I wish I'd have believed in myself a lot earlier on, but it comes later in life sometimes, you know, and that's how it is. So yeah, I'd have said that.
So on to my very next question. So if you could give like up and coming artists advice on wanting to start out in the music industry, like what advice would you give to upcoming artists? And yeah.
I would just say, don't hold back, get yourself out there, whether that's performing at events, festivals, connect with people, you know, connect with other songwriters like yourself, collaborate with people, getting yourself into the studio, just seeing what works, what doesn't work, what sounds of your voice, trying to figure out something that's unique. Try and have your own sound as well. That's super important, because like you've got Amy Winehouse, incredible, but you're not going to get another Amy Winehouse, so you need your own. You need a Chloe Rose, you need a Joe Bloggs, whoever you are, have your own thing. And I think that's really important. But don't give up, keep being consistent, and it is a challenge, and you will find days where you're like, oh, you know, maybe I'm not good enough, or it's just not happening. But if you enjoy doing it, and if you just keep going, little opportunities do come. That's what I always say, even to my students, like, no matter what you face, just face them challenges and think, yeah, I can do it. That's what I'd say. Get your content out there. We've got so much now. We've got TikTok, we've got Instagram, like you're doing Instagram Live. It's so good to connect with new people as well. That's my main thing. God, I talk too much. I do talk too much, but yeah, that's
You're
what
fine. You're fine. So on to my very next question. So if you like, what are like the positive and negative side into the music industry, and how do you get through those like negative moments as an artist?
you got to keep smiling. You got to keep going. I'd say there's loads of positives, like the people you meet, and you know how you can develop as an artist. I think that's really positive, but it is also difficult because obviously there's so much competition out there as well. But what I always think is that everybody is on their own journey. There's so many different talent out there, and if they're over there and they're up there, that's amazing. And I think just be happy for everybody, and we're all at different stages in life. So I try and make a negative into a positive and think we're all on our own journey, you know. So just embrace that and keep going, you know, keep connecting with people and don't give up. I keep saying this hashtag don't give up every time. I'm still
Yes.
going. I might be 80 before someone hears me, but I'm still going. That's what I think. You've got to try, you know,
Yes.
keep going.
Keep pushing through and keep
Absolutely.
on like achieving those goals. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
So on to my very last question for you. So like, what's next for you for the rest of 2024 onwards? Like, what's your goals for the rest of 2024?
Oh, well, I've got a few more festivals coming up, especially at the end of the year. Like, that's something I want to do, perform a lot more at festivals and stuff. But I've got 2 singles coming out at the moment, and I'm really excited about them. So I'll be releasing them very, very soon. And I've worked on them. I collaborated with Aaron, who really talented songwriter from Sheffield, and he's produced some of my music before, but we've started to write together. One is called Ghost. Oh, so I'm giving a little bit of a hint there. And one is called Guilty. So they're both beginning with G. Gosh, it's like the golden, isn't it? And yeah, I honestly can't wait for people to hear that. And it's, again, bit of a darker side in terms of lyrically compared to like the Golden Suns, which is like uplifting and stuff. But I think it's good to try different things. So yeah, can't wait for you all to hear it as well.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much, Chloe, for appearing on my show. It has been such an incredible pleasure having you on tonight on the Galaxy Man show. Do you have any like last final thoughts that you'd like to share to people on the show?
I just want to say thanks so much, guys, for listening. I hope you have a great weekend, and I just really appreciate like those that do support like indie artists like myself, because it is really, really hard. So I just want to say a big thank you to those guys as well. Keep shining, keep doing what you do best. Thanks for having me as well.
You're very
I've loved it,
welcome.
and keep smiling. There you go. That is a lasting note there.